Blue Sky Alternative Investments is Australia's leading diversified alternative asset manager. What's that mean? That means that we invest across the four major alternative asset classes: private equity, private real estate, real assets, where we're focused on water entitlements and agriculture, and hedge funds. We've got a market cap north of $500 million today, a team of over 90 people, and offices in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide and New York. The key highlight of our first half results was just simply the growth. At 31 December, we managed $2.7 billion in assets under management, and that was up $1 billion over the prior 12 months. Now, it took us 9 years as a business to go from zero as a startup to $1 billion under management. We added $1 billion over the prior 12 months in the lead up to 31 December. And that translated through to the financials of our business. So revenue was up over 50%. NPAT for the half had doubled on the prior corresponding period. Operating cash flow was really strong, $9.3 million. And then the other thing that I would say about the first half results was the returns continue to be very strong. 16.4% net of fees since inception across our funds. We had very solid performance across all four of our asset classes. So that was really pleasing, not relying on any one particular part of the business. The focus continues to be to grow the business. We've said publicly that we'll be at between 3.1 and 3.3 billion in assets under management by 30 June. We've said that we'll be at 5 billion by the end of FY19. And if you think about that in the context of what's happening in our industry, Australia's got an enormous funds management industry. It's $2.7 trillion if you include the overseas money that's invested here. And alternatives are the fastest growing part of the industry, and we're ideally positioned to capture that growth. As a team, we absolutely invest in everything that we do. I personally don't have a single investment outside of Blue Sky. All of my investments are tied up with Blue Sky, and that's the same across our entire senior team. We're all about alignment. So we've delivered for our investors in our funds 16.4% per annum returns net of fees. That's since inception, back over 10 years ago. Alternative investments as an industry is growing very, very strongly. Back 2 decades ago, alternative investments were virtually unheard of. It's about 5% of the overall industry. That's grown over the last 2 decades to a point where it's now 20% on average of people's portfolios. You've got groups like the Future Fund investing 39% of their portfolio in alternative assets. So there's an enormous growth opportunity across both institutional investors, but also for high net worth individuals, family offices, even retail investors should have a portion of their portfolio allocated to alternatives. So we've said publicly we'll hit NPAT, underlying NPAT of $24 to $26 million for the full year, and we'll be at 3.1 to 3.3 billion in assets under management by 30 June. That's up from 2.1 billion at 30 June last year. So very strong growth across the business. We've said longer term we'll be at 5 billion across the 4 asset classes that we currently manage, and anything extra that we do will be incremental to that.